You can see there's a seal of Saturn, and then on the inside of the seal of Saturn, what do we have? We have the hexagon, and on the inside, the hexagon has the little guy that's trapped within the crystal. That's what all of this shit's about. That's why when you look at like a snowflake, it resembles a crystal. These are hexagonal cubes. These are hexagonal rods. They're cubes. And inside, these spiritual beings are locked inside, but they are getting ready to come out.
Pussy riot.
Yeah.
I'm against censorship, and my whole career I've always promoted freedom of expression, freedom of speech. So obviously, I think what's happening to them is unfair, and I hope that they do not have to serve 7 years in jail. That would be a tragedy.
Express yourself, don't repress yourself. Express yourself, don't repress yourself. Express yourself, don't repress yourself.
We was butter from the start and we left no doubt. Locking blocks on the app till the lights went out. As we build on the skills till we all grown up. We was butter from the start and we left no doubt. Locking blocks on the app till the lights went out. As we build on the skills till we all grown up.
Tonight and every night, I like to live.
То один из священнослужителей, иеромонах Мефодий, приветствуя президента, поцеловал его руку. Путин резко отдернул ее и даже пригрозил батюшке кулаком. Эпизод длился считанные секунды, но уже несколько часов является одной из самых обсуждаемых тем в Рунете. Пользователи негативно оценивают проявленное гостеприимство иеромонаха и...
In his secret laboratory, Tim Kirby was able to build the world's most sophisticated robot, which unfortunately doesn't give a darn about anything. Tim's mission, to teach his creation why it should care about humans and world events. This is why you should care.
What is that noise?
I'm sticking to the man of punk rock, baby.
God, what's with you and the music?
Oh, don't kill my buzz, bro.
Quit that. Now listen, I actually, on the topic of music, an all-girl Russian punk band was arrested recently for performing a vulgar song in a church. Now I want to talk to you about that, but the thing is, I don't want to mention the band's name because it's a little bit too offensive, so we better keep that quiet.
Pussy riot. Pussy riot.
Yeah, that band. Well, what I'm trying to tell you here, man, is that, like, the location of the crime really shouldn't matter. I mean, if these girls did a vulgar song at a grocery store, would they be facing hard time?
But churches are sacred places where you can go and talk to your human gods, right?
Well, again, I mean, it's sort of like they're making a special exception for religion. I mean, if you steal a car from a priest, is that somehow worse than stealing it from a janitor or some bum like me who doesn't have a job? Come on, man. The thing is, when you give religion an inch, it always takes a mile. And my friend, it starts off with small things like punishing people for being on church grounds and doing dumb stuff, but then it goes to censorship, and they're going to want to close every YouTube channel that disagrees with them. It's not the right way. Plus, the thing is, man, religion is about the soul, and not about punishing girl bands or censorship.
Bands like Pussy Riot?
You sure like that name, don't you? But you see my point. If let bands like Pussy Riot get punished, well then what's next? They're probably gonna ban all sinful music. Maybe they'll get rid of all punk rock. Who knows?
Dude, ban punk rock? Take this, authority.
Oh, that again. How do you listen to that? Crap. Maybe they need to ban punk rock. Good Lord, shut this crap off.
Remember, kids, making special exceptions for religion is a dangerous path.
Clearly, Amnesty International believes that they should not, that these three individuals are prisoners of conscience, that their protest, which was clearly calculated to shock and was known to cause offence, nonetheless fell very squarely within the rights to freedom of expression and assembly, and that these charges therefore should not have been brought at all. And a potential 7-year prison sentence is out of all proportion to the 1-minute spectacle that was presented, and was presented with a legitimate and serious message.
Does Amnesty International believe that there is a political motivation behind the prosecution?
There's certainly some of that. The act itself targeted the twin pillars of the Russian establishment, the Kremlin in the person of Vladimir Putin, and the church itself. Both of those two power structures have a very strong interest in preserving their power base, their status in society, and putting down a strong message in respect of this kind of act, that it will not be tolerated. So certainly the context of the protest, the content of the message has resulted in a totally disproportionate set of charges.
Well, they're the best known band in Russia, but not for their music. 3 members of the Russian female punk band Pussy Riot have appeared again in a Moscow court.
They were arrested in March for an anti-Vladimir Putin performance in a cathedral. Moscow correspondent Norman Hamont reports.
It may look like a political protest, but this was just the latest court appearance for Pussy Riot, the punk band that's become synonymous with public dissent. Hundreds of supporters jammed the streets, and some were arrested. It seems the longer they're in jail, the more fans Pussy Riot has.
I would like to support some girls. I respect them. I think Pussy Riot is our Russian future.
The 3 members of the punk band will have to wait even longer to argue their case. Their trial has been delayed another month. They were arrested in March after performing this anti-Vladimir Putin protest song in Moscow's biggest Russian Orthodox cathedral. That enraged the church and many of its supporters.
We have come to express our indignation over the act of these she-bastards in the Christ the Saviour Cathedral.
The members of Pussy Riot have now been in jail more than 3 months, and their trial hasn't even started yet. The supporters say that's because this case is now about much more than just an illegal concert in a church.
Russia's leaders have been questioned about Pussy Riot. Websites have been set up to rally support. The band has become a symbol of resistance to Vladimir Putin.
This case represents anxiety for the future of the country, and this case represents the willing for democracy and freedom.
Russia's best-known musicians will be back in court in late July. No doubt their supporters and the police will be back too. Norman Hermont, ABC News, Moscow.
find out that she's a stranger.